Hi everyone, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and I was rewatching my video back from last night because when I'm on about topics and trying to get my voice out, I can't always read all the comments. But I remembered something, then this is a question to, or an answer to the question that the Rustic Hippie Witch had, and she typed in my chat, one of my children who is transgender is battling with self-harm and addiction. I'd like to add herbs into a tiny bottle for like a necklace amulet. Hey darling, how are you? Good to see you. And I was on about kumquat. I was like, kumquat, that's what it is. It's not kumquat, but I know why I thought that. I thought that because, like the color orange was burned into my head. It's not kumquat, it's persimmon. And I want to read to you what Scotty says about it. And then also, good morning to everybody. Yeah, I know. I'm on again. Nice to be here. So I want to address a few parts of this question, but I do want to read out of here. Scott Cunningham shares one herb that's good for changing one's sex, and that is persimmon. And if you don't know what persimmon is, it is kind of like a citrus fruit-ish. It's definitely got like, what do they call the taste that goes on your mouth? It looks like a little orange apple almost, and it has this beautiful green little stem on the top, and persimmons are not for everybody taste-wise, but if you can get a good one, they're really fantastic. So let me just read to you guys about persimmon. The gender is feminine, the planet is Venus, the element is water, the powers are changing sex, healing, and luck. And I do believe in this whole book, Scott Cunningham only talks about one herb that's good for changing sex, and it's this one. The magical uses. Until recently in Alabama, it was supposedly believed that if a girl wished to become a boy, all she had to do was eat 9 unripe persimmons. Unripe persimmons taste really weird, by the way. She would surely change sex within 2 weeks. And then it says, if you are plagued with chills, tie a knot in a piece of string, one for each chill that you've had. Tie the string to a persimmon tree. This should halt them. If you wish to have good luck, bury green persimmons. Okay, so this video is just addressing this question to the hippie witch, the rustic hippie witch. And I want to, so I got that out. I figured out what it was, yay. And I hope that you get to see this video, darling. I had such a good time chatting with you guys last night. It made my day. But let's talk about the other parts of this question, okay? Battling with self-harm, you know, you could do a poppet like I had talked about before and put really spiny, sharp objects on the outside so that if what is making you want to self-harm or what is causing that, those addiction issues, because I've dealt with, not the transgender thing, but I've dealt with addiction and self-harm a lot in my past and battled with that, you know, for years. And it's a topic I think needs to be talked about more, so I'm going to try and talk about it more because it's helping people. People that have never talked about it before, you know, out loud to anybody. And so my thought was you could get a puppet or some doll hands and, you know, like you could bind the hands from self-harm, and you could write on these little doll hands, or you could put a little petition inside of the that says, you know, I no longer harm myself, I only love myself. And you could have these bound up with some black hemp, and wear that as a necklace amulet. It would look really cool, and nobody would really know what it was for, because the petition would be on the inside. And you could wear that with you all of the time. As far as addiction goes, I think most of us use our hands as part of addiction, whether that's, you know, smoking or drinking or whatever kind of drug or substance or gambling you're addicted to, we have to use our hands for it. Or also our mouth, right? So you could make a poppet and like a more of a literal puppet, not just the doll hands. Or you could take a doll head. Melissa, I'm just going to borrow this, okay? I'll be right back. I'm back, don't worry. So you could take a doll head, and you could put a petition on the inside, and you could kind of cover up the mouth there so that you're not able to drink or smoke or whatever your issue is that you're having with the addiction. But yeah, if you want rustic hippie, which I would adore to make, like a note, like a necklace or an amulet to block against self-harm, and put some petitions in there for you and take it out into the new moon and bless it. So you just let me know if you need something like that. I haven't attached my Etsy below, but it's in the last 2 videos, so if you guys need any kind of little things made, just let me know. But yeah, I just thought of that this morning, and I wanted to tell you that, you know, a puppet doesn't have to be something that you fashion necessarily. You just have to get creative. You could even, like let's say you have no money, and you don't have even money to go get a doll from a thrift store and do something like this. I understand. You could draw on a piece of paper a picture of yourself, and you could just get a little tiny glass vial with a cork and put the petition, you know, you draw a picture of yourself, and you draw a picture of yourself happy, or you can, you know, bind your hands in that petition, etc. Binding your hands only from the harm, not from doing anything. So it's all about your intention and what goes into it. But I want to thank you for the inspiration for that, for this self-harm amulet necklace, because it's something that any of us that struggle with self-harm or addiction can just have as a reminder, and self-love. So I want to talk about self-love a lot right now before I go. This isn't going to be a super long live stream. But I want to talk about self-love and how, like, how falling in love with yourself and adoring yourself is not vain, and it's not pompous, and it's not any of those things. And I think that, you know, film and cinema and television have trained us to think that that is something that is really rude, to think highly of yourself, when it's just the opposite. If you want to have a beautiful life, and people say this all the time, in order to love others, you have to love yourself. I think that that's true. But we need to love ourselves first and foremost, not just so that other people can love us or we can love other people. It's us inside of this vessel. It's part of us, and our higher self is up here and screaming at us to be happy and to do good. And sometimes that's really difficult. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking about it more. It's feels good to talk about, even though it's such a subject that a lot of people have trouble talking about. But like I say, it's been helping a lot of people, and a lot of people have been opening up to me, both on the channel and in private, like on Skype and everything. And, yeah, I absolutely love and adore myself, and it's not always been like that. So whatever I can do to get you guys to do these self-love practices, or maybe we can do a guided meditation, where you can watch it and listen to it anytime that you're starting to feel like those thoughts are coming on, you know. And for those people who don't understand why people self-harm, it's definitely not for attention. I think that that's a big misconception. It is for, I think it, like a lot of empaths do it because when the pain of life gets so much, and it's so much to handle for an empath is somebody that can literally feel feelings from people around them as their own, whether it's happy, sad, angry, frustrated, you know, blissful, good and bad. And so when we, where was my thought? Just a minute, I'll find it. I lost it. But you guys are following me here, right? Yeah, the meditation thing I think is a really good idea, like just a guided meditation to walk us through. And but these self-love practices, I want to do some videos on those as well. Anytime you're starting to feel down on yourself or low or feel like using or feel like, oh, I remember where we were at. I was talking about why people self-harm, and that it's not for attention. It's because when we have this empathy and we can literally feel the feelings of people around us, plus our own feelings, it's so overwhelming that sometimes pain is the only mental distraction. Why do you think I have so many tattoos? You know, pain is a really good, it's a beautiful art to have on you, but it's also a really, really good distraction from what's going on around you. However, it's very unhealthy, and I think that it makes our higher selves cry a great deal. And so, same thing with addiction. When life is very, very raw for empaths, RAW, life is just a very raw place to be. And so, sometimes, you know, pinching yourself, or there's a lot of ways people do self-harm, and, you know, I think that this guided meditation will be a good thing for anybody to turn on when they're feeling in that place. And so that's what I wanted to say. I'm glad that I was able to read to you guys about persimmon, and do I think that that actually works? Because it says, until recently in Alabama, it was supposedly believed that if a girl wished to become a boy, all she had to do was eat 9 unripe persimmons. She would surely change her sex within 2 weeks. Do I think that that works? Probably not. I'll just be honest. But I don't think changing your sex is a physical change. I think it's an emotional and a mental change. And thank goodness we're in a world where it's more accepted now, because these folks had so much hardship and trouble in earlier years when it just was completely unaccepted, you know. Like even up to the 90s, like it's just been so unaccepted. So yeah, that's what I wanted to come on and say. And if you're watching this video after it is done, please leave comments below and let me know how you feel about these guided meditations for addiction and self-harm. And yeah, we're all reaching out more. We're all bonding more on subjects. And yay, I made it through a video without crying. Excellent. Okay, I love you guys. I've got a lot of work to do today, and I'll see you very soon. And I'll be chatting with Darkpool and KDR today on Skype, so I can't wait to see you guys. And I gotta go run my errands, so I love you. There you both are. Look at all those hearts, just for me. I love you guys very much. If you want to connect with me on Skype to talk about anything, or especially if you're suffering through addiction or self-harm, I can talk to you about it anytime. And so my Skype is Jen Baby Firefly. It's not Jen the Taxidermy Witch anymore. Jen Baby Firefly. Alright. Talk to you guys soon. Love you. Bye.